The OECD estimates that the labour force will shrink by 10% if female participation levels do not increase. Conversely, if gender parity is not reached in the Japanese economy, it is expected that the GDP will decrease by 20%. Millennials now view diversity as a key hygiene factor when deciding on whether to take up a position with a company or not. And recent research of 10,000 people who had been offered positions in companies have actually gone on to research to see if there's anybody who looks like them within the company before deciding whether to take the position or not. A recent Deloitte survey found that companies that are inclusive are more highly productive, they have less turnover, and they've got more engaging staff. And companies with a diverse executive team are 21% more likely to have above higher profits than companies who do not. In 2017, McKinsey carried out research of over 1,000 companies in 12 different countries and found that companies who had a diverse workforce were 32% more likely to outperform those who did not. So the case for diversity in all its forms is really clear. But how do we ensure that we get a diverse workforce into our organisations? The first step, I believe, is actually to be aware of our unconscious bias. Sometimes we can assume that we are not biased, but inherent within our DNA, we have unconscious bias that helps us filter information and makes key decisions. This can be really problematic if we are, for example, recruiting into our organisation. Because if we recruit people into our organisation and we are not aware of our unconscious bias, this means that we may not recruit into our organisations that diverse talent pool that we so need to have those creative ideas and to think differently. If we want to be serious about taking in and tapping into the talent that is out there, we must ensure that all our hiring managers have been trained in unconscious bias. There are some specific things that we can do to support this. For example, taking the name, the gender and the educational background of the candidate off the CV. Hiring in diversity into our organisations is common sense. Let's make sure that it's common practice.